sure, but it's whether or not the Korean All-Stars have lost a ban or something like that. Not too sure on. Well, hopefully
why would they lose a ban?
Well, because obviously they're professional players, right? These guys are really good at the game. We'll get word on that as to whether that is a mistake or not.
No, I think they're doing it intentionally.
I think for now we'll operate on the assumption that it's just a little bit of a cheeky bit of BM going on.
Well, we'll find out in 5 seconds' time.
Oh, no, yeah, they
go technical error. Okay, I thought it would have been a little bit funny if they would have just like not banned anything and left a load of OPs on the board.
Yeah, that would have been very funny.
But no, it looks like it was a technical error for Berry on the end there.
Yeah, they're just going to try and get loaded back up. Maybe he wasn't in the pick ban, you know, some instance wasn't loaded up on the phone. But yeah, we are just going to hopefully get that sorted out as soon as possible.
So out of these teams, probably the most successful one out of Korea in this terms of this tournament would have been, I wouldn't even say Team Olympus, because Team Olympus didn't make any progress. They were auto-qualified into the bracket. And that was the remnants of new meta that was formed into Team Olympus with the addition of Chaser and Rush. But Sun was on there. Sun was a bit of a coin flip hero. In the terms of his games, because he played Talanis and he would misposition a lot of times and get caught out, and then other times he would play perfectly and win team fights. They go Roro, Sun, Berry, Horror, and Penguin.
Yeah, of course. Korean teams all knocked out of the tournament so far. Team Olympus and Team CL, the teams that made it furthest. I don't think Olympus... no, Olympus do have a representative, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sun.
Yeah. The rest of them, as I said, Olympus and CL, #1 and #2 seed coming out of Korea. Both made it to the quarterfinals, but did take the losses to the Vietnamese sides, Pro Army and Game TV.
So, looking at some of the picks these guys are going to be coming out with, I imagine it'll still follow true that these guys want to get control of Malok, because both Horror and Penguin were playing them earlier on in tournament. On top of that, Malok is one of the highest pick ban rated heroes in the game that we've seen at this tournament as well. So I think Malok's definitely going to be one that the Korean All-Stars are going to look to pick up. And the influences, well, we don't have a lot of information about these guys and what they're going to want to play. So they could bring out some unexpected picks, like when SK picked Jinnar for some reason.
Well, let's find out their names. I think we're going to see the roster coming up on our screens. We'll finally know who they are. We've got Doggy, Anthony, Eruption, Haxa, and Jamie.
Like I said, I want to see what they're going to pick here. And I think the first game will be very telling of the tone of this round robin. Is if we see a lot of meta picks, then we know they're taking it seriously. If we see some unusual picks, like maybe the Valheim, Natalia, Mina, just picks that aren't generally done, Illumia, like just generally things we don't often see, then I think we understand that they're just having a little bit of fun with it, you know?
Yeah, something as well I just want to mention is that Horror was always getting locked, had significantly, a significant number of times, had that Zuka first locked in for him. So we might see that come out as well. We'll see how they opt to play for it. I think we'll get an idea for how their attitude is towards the game based on how this pick ban phase goes. You can see the Sea Monsters actually looking pretty reserved, looking pretty chill, so maybe they're taking this a little bit more seriously than maybe I was expecting. I don't know about you.
I just didn't know what to expect going into this match, because we don't know a lot about the teams. We didn't know who was going to be on the Korean All-Stars roster out of the players available to them. And also on the assumption they're all getting the same prize money regardless, I think they might want to have some fun with it. So it still remains to be seen. I think the draft, like I said, the draft will be very telling about the style of game we're in for.
Just waiting to get back into the pick ban phase, of course, with that technical issue. No bans came out from the Korean All-Stars. We thought it was a little bit of a joke, but turns out it was just a technical difficulty. But we're going to see some cosplayers here. Murad going to open up the line.
Zhao Chan in the mix as well.
I think you got Crixie on the end.
Yeah, I believe that is Crixie. The wings are big. The wings are a big tell.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tell. But yeah, these cosplayers are really, really good so far. Like from all of the ones that we've seen this week, they've just been absolutely on point. The quality of the costumes has been phenomenal.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of decorative wings, a lot of large props involved. I think there was a Lubu for the trophy reveal ceremony that was in a full suit of designed and styled armor with a giant lance as well. It must have taken hours to make him.
Yeah, it's a,
or her, could be.
It's a massive commitment to pull something like that off. Some costumes obviously slightly easier than others to make, but still, the dedication that goes in those things, very admirable indeed. I have a lot of time for people who put time into their passion.
Oh yeah, got to respect it.
Yeah,
shows they care about it. They've got the determination to do it. It's very, very akin to esports professional players. You know, they clearly love what they do and put a lot of work into getting the results they get, whether it's a win or a loss. They still put the work in to make sure they increase their chances of just succeeding in this game.
Trying to succeed in this game will be the Sea Monsters. I keep sort of coming back to it, but it's this sort of this mountain that they have to climb against the professional players. I think they definitely got their work cut out. I'm expecting a very quick game coming out from the Korean All-Stars, but we are back once more into pick and ban. Hopefully this time we'll get it right.
Okay, well hopefully Berry can actually ban.
Maybe, maybe not.
So we did see the one ban that was the Murad come out from the side of Sea Monsters last game. Whether they'll do that again remains to be seen.
They do ban away the L'Oreal for the Korean All-Stars, don't want the Sea Monsters getting their hands on that.
Okay, so they go from no ban to a very important ban. I think I know how this game is going to be played.
Yeah, that looks like they're going to be taking this one pretty seriously. Hopefully Sea Monsters can actually get a ban through. Don't want to have that one dropping down as well. I'm expecting the Murad to come back out. I mean, it makes sense. Or the Zil potentially being banned away.
One of those high power assassins.
Violet.
Or they could go for the Violet.
Yeah, it's gonna get banned away. Again, one of the highest pick ban rates in the AIC so far.
Yeah, 91.89% pick ban rate across the entire tournament.
Thank you, Mr. Statsman.
I did a lot of work.
You definitely did. It's very impressive. Zuka does get banned away, so Horror isn't going to be opting to go onto that one. Potentially looking at prioritizing the slightly, not the more difficult heroes, so things like the Murad, things like, well, maybe not Murad, but the Nakaroth, things like that. That's maybe not what they
I think they might go for the Murad ban still. I think they'll still roll with that. It's a solid ban.
But then he'd leave the Ryoma.
Very true that Ryoma would be left open. I think if you give that to someone like Penguin or Horror in those off lanes, it's going to cause an absolute nightmare for you going into this first matchup. But they're going to stick with their guns. They're going to stick with the Murad ban.
Zil is open as well. You've got the opportunity to go for Ryoma, which will just get locked in. I'm imagining normally you'd expect either a Zil Malok pickup here, or even the Chaugnar being prioritized. I mean, they could pick up the Alice with it and just sort of fully round out their double comp, but the Chaugnar Malok is viable.
The problem I have with picking the Alice early in the draft is that you replay your hand too soon. You reveal everything you plan to do. So you show your entire composition for the sake of one pick. And it allows the enemy team to then go, right, well, we know how exactly you're going to play this game. Let's do this instead, you know? So that's why I'm against an early Alice ban. We did see the early Alice pickup, where that was when it was so prevalent in the series. I think they went L'Oreal Alice in a first red side pick. It was left open. And
that gave over, I believe, Ryoma, Malok, Ormar.
Yeah.
And that was when they were high-fiving and then they lost the game.
Yeah, I remember that one. So it can be done, but it's not the best thing you can do because you do reveal everything you're planning on doing.
Yeah, so the Chaugnar and the Malok get locked in. The Zil and the Airy both being hovered. I imagine they're both just going to get locked in, both power picks.
Yeah, Airy, as the tournament has developed, has seen more play. It was adopted more from A side. Airy was played in the group stages, and then when it came into the quarterfinals and semis, it really ramped up in how important it was for the series. One of those scaling heroes, that stun, the mobility available with her ultimate, makes her very impactful to get in, protect herself, but also lock down her intended target, get the damage on and get out safely. And we see what Zil can do regularly here with the 3-stack passive, with the damage output he's able to get. He's basically a softer version of Murad.
Did see this. Oh, okay. So we did have a couple of things hovered, but the re-hover is going to come out for Slims and Crack. Or Raz, probably more likely. Okay, they're just going to pick up The Alice on this rotation? Okay, interesting. A new pick for Eruption.
Yeah, you're working around the assassination here with this pick, resolving on popping your passive, because you're going to apply a stack to the enemy when you use certain abilities, and the whole core of the damage coming out from Eruption's pick is that popping that stack that's on the enemy. Yeah. So the Alice is locked in, so Chalknar Alice is going to be ran. I like that they were a little bit more patient with it. I think they're confident running into it now. But there's going to be a lot of attention on Doji on this Alice. You're going to have Ryoma, you're going to have Zill, you're going to have Aerie diving onto Alice and removing her from the fight before it even begins. So Doji needs to be very careful with positioning this game.
Something that's missing from the Korean All-Stars roster is obviously that massive frontline tank. Might be trying to go over to that Ormar to pick it up. The Slims and the Ormar obviously being hovered, but the Raz get swapped, and they are going to lock that.
But Ormar warriors can be very knife edge in the sense that they can either go on more on the damage side or go on more on the resistance side. Ormar is one of these ones that fits more into the resistance side of the warrior market. So while it's not the dedicated full tank, it does going to have a lot of resistance in there. But I think the biggest strength about the Korean All-Stars roster is that they've got mobility.
Yeah, they are just going to be looking to get on in and assassinate that Alice, as you said, early into the fight, which is just going to limit the effectiveness of the rest of their players, and losing a member is not what you want to do early on.
Double support on the side of Sea Monsters.
Yeah, so, well, Chalknar support. Maybe not, but we'll see where they
well, no, Hexer and Jamie are both on supports.
Oh, what? Oh, of course. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about the Chalknar, but I didn't see the final lock-in.
Because you know my attitude towards Chalknar as a support. It's not a support.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the inverted commas support, right?
Yeah.
That's sort of how it tends to be run. But yeah, looking at the Korean All-Stars, there are weaknesses there. And the Kirknack for Eruption will be trying to assassinate those weak players who are maybe trying to go in for the flank and burst that Alice on the back line, but with that AD Assassin, we'll just try and prevent that. So, let's get the game underway. Korea All-Stars take on the Sea Monsters in the first of our event match series of the Asian regions.
So into game one, 3 games in the show matches to go. Not a lot on the line. There's no real increase on prize pool. They're just playing for a little bit of regional pride and a little bit of fun as we start to ramp up towards our grand final. We're going to jump on to the Arena of Valor.
Let's see how the pros are going to stack up against the influencers in this matchup. Of course, nothing really on the line. It's a very friendly match, so hopefully cheers all round. Maybe go for a drink after this, because of course the Korean players no longer in the tournament.
Yeah, and Doji, Anthony leading the charge onto Horror.
Very, very fast aggression, and the All-Stars just going to back off. Actually, the positioning given over to the Sea Monsters. No early invades coming out either. They are actually just grouping mid. Is that the strat? Is that the strat?
A-round.
All mid? All mid?
A-round.
Let's go. But yeah, they're just going to get harassed from the side. Roro trying to find some pickups. Sun actually waiting in the wings, trying to find the Sage Golem over the wall. Will get spotted out, jumps onto Eruption, and then just jumps over, steals it. So already Sun is shining bright.
They lack of vision on Sun's positioning on the side of the Sea Monsters. It was an easy pickup. They're actually going to lose both their buffs in the top side on the red side of the map, so they don't get a Might or a Sage buff to kick things off. Now Sun is sat in this bottom lane.
Just on the solo as well, the Aerie. Just trying to be zoned out. Will go up against the Ayora. So the fight in the mid lane is going to erupt though, as Eruption is going to make it happen, but that's a triple knockup coming out from Penguin. Doggy taking potentially a little bit too much damage, but they can't continue the fight because of course Roro too low on HP in the mid lane again, finding that focus.
Penguin more than happy to sit in that middle lane on the Raz though and just stay there, farm and wait for the opportunity to group up. Sun has got access to his ultimate, so that opens up a world of possibilities for Aerie in terms of her damage threat.
Spirit Sentinel being picked up, but hang on a minute, in the bot lane, it's going to be Doggy who goes down first. Berry on that Zill, able to claim first blood and gets the double kill as well. No, that one actually went over to Sun to find the second kill. But now Abyssal Dragon is open, and with 2 players off the board, you're not really going to be able to position to do anything as Sea Monsters.
5v3 man advantage, and they're just holding an aggressive position. They're looking for catches. They're going to prey on the fact that Sea Monsters will go ahead and scout it out, and Eruption pays for his curiosity.
Yeah, Alice missing the stun there onto 3 members. Not sure it was crucial, but nonetheless, it wasn't a missed skill shot. Trying to find it this time. Will get 2, but it's not really going to matter as the Sea Monsters' health bars are sort of disappearing across the board. Doggy goes down. Zill finds first blood. Anthony will follow, able to get the kill over onto Raz this time. Jamie and Haxa don't really have too much to go for. Berry just jumps under the turret to find a triple kill against the Alice already. 3 minutes in. And 1 kill every 30 seconds is our kill rate.
Kind of going how we expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, to just explain a little bit about what Korea All-Star did there. They had the man advantage. The Abyssal Dragon would have been an easy take for them, but they decided they wanted a little bit more. And Sea Monster would have to make the assumption Abyssal would go down. They want to get some vision on it and see if they could potentially stall it out and wait for the respawns. But the aggressive positioning that the All-Stars took was designed to catch them out when this curiosity would get the better of them.
Oh, are they going to catch out Horror, though, as Eruption's able to jump on? Obviously, that passive doing a lot of work there as the abilities hit left and right. Anthony able to just burst out the final bit of damage as the Korean All-Stars try and rotate in as best they can, but it's a little bit too late. However, that bot lane outer turret will fall.
They're leaving Sun in the bot lane with the split push. Too many members on the top side of the map. No one's traversing down there. Eri can just keep pushing this in.
Sea Monsters go for the engage with the Malok knockup onto 1, trying to zone them out. Anthony as well waiting in, and actually Roro's taken down very low. Berry on the back line isn't going to be able to burst them out just yet. Oh, has to dash away over the wall, able to get away. That mobility coming in very useful. Penguin as well on the back will get stunned up with the uppercut onto Haxa. The stun able to save the life. Now Anthony and the rest of them trying to wade in, but Horror comes over and he is going to be able to support his team beautifully. 3 kills go over, and Horror with a double.
And Eri's been here the entire time. Takes that out of the tower, moves into the jungle, clears the board of all the tanks, gets herself the Sage Golem buff, and moves to keep pressure. 4 levels over the side of Malok.
Over double the gold as well at 4.5 minutes. Korean All-Stars are showing just why these guys are professional players and the other guys are only just influencers. I say just influencers. Influencers is probably a better way of describing them.
We've
BM'd influencers enough today. I think we need to rein it in a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's mainly been me doing it, but it's fine. You're safe to get a few in if you want, John.
Yes. All right. I'll cash in my my cards in a bit.
Having a look at the mid lane, taking a lot of free damage that shouldn't be being conceded like that by the Sea Monsters. Can't allow those minions to do it, and even more so now that the Siege minions have spawned.
Pushing on in. They're going to be spreading out their aggression, but Sea Monsters sort of roaming as a 5-man unit, trying their best to catch out anyone on those Korean All-Stars.
They're afraid to take a fight where they don't have the man advantage. They're afraid to take the fight where they're missing a key player of their team, so they're very much clustered together.
Oh no, Horror is an absolute horror with that spear, able to just completely burst down the Kirknack. Eruption way out of position and gets caught out for it.
I mean, what do you expect? He's got 4 levels on him now. Nearly, well, just about 2k gold over him. There's no way, this is the problem. Like, Kirknack is an assassin primarily, and he's not going to be able to assassinate anyone. And with the advantages that Korean All-Stars have managed to muster during this game, they're going for a 6-minute Darkslayer.
As it spawns, Darkslayer gets taken, Horror will deal the final blow. And look, they're prioritizing the 3-man Sage Golem over on the Sea Monsters. You can see that they're sort of roaming around together. Well,
this is the thing, the Korean All-Stars, yeah, it's all about fear. They're like, well, if we do this, are we just going to get invaded in our jungle? Are we going to give up more kills? We can't give up any more kills, guys.
Oh, 1v1, Raz and Eruption, then Eruption's health bar is going to erupt. Not going to last very long. And the stun at the max range from Airy as well over the wall. He can't find a break. Poor guy. All the muscles in the world won't save you in this arena, my friend.
Malok's supposed to be your tank, and he just lost his health with 2 abilities.
The high ground turret's getting slowly taken down as well as the Korean All-Stars at 7 minutes are starting to look to break the base. You can see the Sea Monsters, just so much damage going over to them just from the poke. The Ra's already taken Anthony down to a quarter HP. They're going to try and go for a final last-ditch attempt, but it's not going to be enough as the All-Stars just wade on in through the fight. Berry is just going to roll on. There's the Siege Minion, and at 7.5 minutes, we've already had one game finished. The Korean All-Stars are exactly what their name suggests.
Yeah, Smash Mouth would be proud with that performance. Because when they're in the jungle, they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming. It's literally what was going through my head when one by one the Sea Monsters were just running into that jungle after each other to die.
Sushi on the menu tonight, eh?
Yeah. The Sea Monsters would make a fine sashimi.
Certainly would. But that's the first of our influencer matches from the Asian regions. I think it's the Korean All-Stars. It's winner stays on for now. They will be taking on the Black and